I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
All right. First of all, I
Oh,
want to say congratulations on your win.
thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good win. I'm a bit exhausted, so don't mind if I'm breathing a little bit. So,
No worries,
yeah.
absolutely no problem at all. First of all, I wanted to talk and ask you guys, how did you manage to come back on 2 maps, like both in a row? Okay, that was mental. First the 8-10 comeback, and then the 10-12 comeback on match point.
I think we have a good mentality as a team. You know, it's not over till it's over. You know, like we always believe. And I think like we realize why we're losing rounds and we try to adapt to it. I think the way we adapted on Split was very good. I don't, to be honest, right now I don't remember what happened on Lotus. It's out of my mind. But on Split, I remember like we was making some good calls. Like the timeouts really helped us as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was combination of everything what we've prepared for up until this point, and the good coaching staff and Boo just making some great calls.
I see. Can you just talk me through, because you played Split yesterday, so obviously you guys did some massive adjustments as well coming into this map right the day after. Okay, so moving on as well. FUT have a pretty unique comp on Lotus. Did you guys have a specific game plan coming into this series, like facing off against them?
Nothing in particular. We understood their comp. We understood how they wanted to play the comp. But we still struggled a bit against it. I think it's quite annoying, especially on like post plants. Like they were going towards B quite a lot on their attack, and if they get the bomb down and they're able to still have all their util, then it's on the verge of like impossible to retake.
Yeah.
The Sage slows, the Sage walls, the Viper stuff, like it's really, really hard. So we were trying to adapt to it, starting to, try not to let them plant, disrupt them a bit. But no, it's a weird comp, and I think it's good because, it's unique. Like realistically, like we haven't ever played against it in scrims. I think comps like that are quite good, where it's got its own specific play style. So other teams aren't going to know how to play against it because they wouldn't have practiced against it.
I see. And I also spoke with Mr. Fallon right before, and he was kind of talking about how the Viper nerfs wouldn't really affect his composition. But I see you guys have gone in the opposite direction, where you've guys gone for a composition that's Viper nerf proof, I guess I would say. You guys are not even running the Viper on Lotus, which is quite an unusual decision to make. I think you're one of the few teams that have elected to go away from that and go for a single controller. Could you sort of speak on how that fits into your guys' identity, I guess?
I mean, I think we sometimes like, I think the reason we changed the comp is because, before that we'd been playing our same comp of Viper, Neon Gecko, Omen, Killjoy for like so long. Like even before I was in the team, they were playing it on Lotus. They've been playing for so long, and it got to the point where teams know how we're going to play. They know how the comp works. They know the rotations and everything. So we wanted to change it up, and I think it also comes down to like most teams when they practice, they're playing against Vipers. So you get used to playing against Vipers, and when you're playing against a team that doesn't have a Viper, it's a bit different. So it's not to the team's comfort, like the enemy team's comfort. So I think that comes into it as well. But yeah, I think we're all kind of on agents that we're good at. And I think Boo likes cooling around with that comp as well. So yeah, it suits us pretty well.
I see. Okay, then I also wanted to ask this. Obviously, you guys have now qualified for Shanghai. Can you speak a little bit on what it means for you to make your second international of this year, on your first year, playing in a professional Valorant? You've made both internationals already. What does that mean for you?
Yeah. Man, it means everything. Like seriously, the year before I couldn't have even imagined to make the first two, or even my goal for this year was to make an international. And the fact we're playing this good, and we've qualified for Shanghai now, it's really surreal because only last year I was watching these events. I was going to these events just as like a Riot invite as a streamer.
Yeah.
And it was always my dream to play up there on the stage. And the fact that I've done it in Madrid, and I'm going to be able to do it in Shanghai is really something else to me. Seriously, yeah, I really appreciate the work that everyone in our team does, and I also work my ass off. So yeah, I think it's expected that we have got this far.
I mean, it certainly shows. You guys are one of the most, honestly, at this point, one of the most highest achieving team, I guess, in the EMEA.
Thank you.
coming into this, obviously you've had as you said, you have the prior experience of playing in Madrid. How important is this sort of experience, coming into when you come back to domestic splits and you have that international experience playing against other regions, playing against others? Is this something that gives you guys a leg up when you're playing regional competitions?
I think it does. I think when when we played in Madrid, that's like, as intense as it gets, really. Like, we've got the home crowd, there's so many people, like, there's a lot of pressure. And also, I mean, just a small thing from me, like, we played against Sendals and PaperX, who got first and thirds in Madrid. So at the time, they were, both top 3 teams in the world.
Yeah.
And, for me personally, like, I realized, like, my performance against those teams were like really good, just individually. And I kind of realized, like, if I can perform good individually against these teams that are the best in the world, then I can do it against anyone in EMEA. It doesn't matter who it is or who we're playing against. And I think it's the same for my teammates. Like, they've gotten the confidence from playing against those teams, and we're not like worried or afraid of anyone. Like, you see so many big names like Durka, CNED, like all these, well-known names that are known to be, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about them. Like, it's just another player at the end of the day. So, yeah, I think it gives us an advantage for sure.
I mean, you certainly took the nameplates off. You entered on Cypher on Split. You ran in first. Okay. Going into Shanghai, is there any international team you like to face in particular? Like, would you like another rematch against... I don't know who's qualified yet. I think it's T1's qualified.
I think I want to play against PaperX again. Try to get my revenge. This time maybe with a little bit less trash talk.
Yeah.
Because it didn't end well last time. But I still like really. I love watching PaperX play. Like, they're a really fun team, and I respect how they play, because it takes some balls to play like that and to do good.
Yeah.
So to playing against them, like, it'll be really nice. I think like playing against other players that are also like really individually sharp, like in terms of like mechanics, it's really fun. So yeah, I think PaperX.
PaperX then. Okay. Also, next you'll be playing against Fnatic tomorrow. Fnatic have kind of gone through a little bit of renaissance this split, where they've sort of gradually refound their form again. Do you have any sort of thoughts on their sort of resurgence in individual sort of form and as a team? And also, what is your expectations going into that matchup tomorrow?
The way I see what's happened to Fnatic is like the stuff they had to go through last year. Like, it was so intense for them. The fact they won both events and then got 4th in champs. Like, they made deep runs in every single international event they went to.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them were probably just burnt out. Like, it takes so much time and effort to be that good. Like, everybody would have been putting like 200% in. And I think after that, like after champs, I think they were just exhausted. I think their preparation going into like kickoff and, sort of start of the year wasn't as good as, other teams like us. So I think it's quite normal that they didn't perform very well at the start. I think now, like, they're kind of getting back into the groove of it. And yeah, I think it's completely normal. Like, all of the players on Fnatic, they're still like really incredible. They're still like kind of best in their roles, I believe. So yeah, no, I think it's normal that they had a dip and now they're coming back up. And I think if they keep going, like, they'll still be, one of the best teams in the world. So.
Okay, and then obviously, then you'll be facing against them tomorrow. Do you have any expectations playing against them?
Any expectations? Not really. I mean, I haven't really thought about it yet, to be honest. I'm just gassed that I'm in Shanghai. But I mean, it should be a good game. I think they are, like, individually, we're kind of, on the same level. Like, both teams are really good. I think it would just be come down to who's playing better on the day, to be honest. I think right now we're really in form.
Yeah.
So if Fnatic don't, perform good, I think we'll win for sure. Okay.
Also, I think I asked you this question during the Madrid pre-conference as well. But coming in from the Fortnite circuit, what's sort of been the biggest differences between competing there in that esport and then coming over to Valorant and competing now?
It's so much more competitive and structured and everything. Like, Fortnite compared to Valorant, you can't even compare the two in terms of like competitiveness. Fortnite, you've got, so many kids. You've got, I don't know, like, even, I mean, I was a kid, but still there's so many kids, which is normal because it's 13 plus to compete in tournaments. But just like in terms of like even just like scrims, practicing, like in Valorant, it's so much more structured. Like you've got a set time, you have to do something. You're all 5 people. I think it also like it's just down to the game. Like Valorant's a 5-man team game. Fortnite is like solos, duos, or trios. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot different in terms of like the way practice is, and also just the way tournaments work. Like with Valorant now being franchised, it's just a completely different system than Fortnite. So there's too many differences to count, to be honest.
I see. Okay. Final question. What are your current thoughts on the existing map pool that's currently in circulation?
Existing map pool. I don't mind it. It could be better. I would like Fracture back, to be honest. I would say get rid of Icebox or Ascent. Ascent's quite boring nowadays, to be honest. So not a fan of Ascent, not a fan of Icebox. I say take it out, get Fracture back in, and get Pearl back in with a rework.
Yes.
That would be my dream map pool. All right, gonna do it? Probably not. But what can you do? You know, like you gotta take what you get, really.
Take out Breeze as well, and you have me. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, Breeze ain't great either, mate.
It's not fun. Teamwork. All right, thank you so much, Benji, and I'll let you get some rest. And best of luck for your games tomorrow.
Amazing. Thanks so much, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.